Hello all, today I'll be explaining how viruses are able to infect people. Viruses are cells that target host cells, or cells that help an organism function. They may be able to affect a wide variety of cells or only a specific type of cell. Let's start with the structure. The basic structure of a virus is basically a bunch of viral DNA or RNA protected by a protein capsid, which is essentially a container for said DNA or RNA. The protein capsule may vary in shape depending on the virus's function and the cells they target. Some may have receptors attached to the outside of the protein membrane to latch onto the host cell, while others may inject DNA directly into the host cell. And there are even some of them which can fuse themselves into the cell. The DNA encodes all the instructions for the host cell to mass produce more viruses, and viruses can only replicate via host cells. So, there are multiple types of viruses, but in this video I will only focus on two: phages and animal viruses. Phages undergo one of two processes, either the lytic or lysogenic cycle. The lytic cycle is basically the fast one. Phages, they inject their DNA into the virus, and this DNA is integrated into the host cell's DNA. Then the host cell immediately begins to manufacture the parts for creating the virus. Once the cell is full of newly made viruses, it explodes, spilling out all of its insides and releasing the viruses to search for other host cells. Then there's this other cycle called the lysogenic cycle, and it's the slower cycle. So basically, the DNA of the phage is integrated into the DNA of the host cell. There, the DNA sits there, undergoing replication with the cell until the conditions are met. And at that time, the DNA springs into action and starts mass producing viruses. Then it ends similar to the lytic cycle, producing and releasing newly made viruses. The other type of virus is the animal virus. They essentially dissolve into the host cell or bind into the host cell to enter the cell. Once it is inside, it releases its RNA strand, allowing for the host cell to synthesize it. This causes the cell to manufacture its parts, glycoproteins, which are attached to the outer walls of the host cell, capsids and receptors, which form the base of the virus. Then after assembling the RNA and capsid together, the virus uses a memory of the host cell, which has all the glycoproteins, and then leaves the cell. Thus, the cycle repeats, creating a line of new viruses.